Hey there, and welcome back to the Second Lunch Podcast. So far, we have survived the 10-episode curse. This is episode 11, right?
Well, as of now, they're not uploaded, so hang on.
Okay.
My train might derail.
Yeah, one of us could die before. Weird start. Welcome back. I think we lost Brussels, if I'm being honest. I think either they died, or maybe just taking a break. Maybe they were thriving on the anonymity. They really didn't want to be called out like that, but I think we lost Brussels.
I like how you're digging the hole deeper.
Yeah. Well, they're gone now. Let's talk shit about them. We got some fun stuff today. It's just Cole and I this time. No more guests for a little while. I missed you.
I know.
I know.
It's nice to reconnect.
Felt like we just weren't connecting the same way.
It doesn't help that we were only getting through about 40% of our agendas. I feel like that was really...
feels so dumb when we're going to like argue about cheese or something that we call it an agenda.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, I'm surprised I haven't hired somebody to take minutes. I got a stenographer in the works. I need to know exactly who ate ketchup on what.
Oh, man. We're going to have to do a whole other ketchup
follow-up.
Jesus. It's just out of hand. Coconut shrimp. Ketchup on coconut shrimp. Ketchup and coconut. Full stop. Can't go together.
I've already talked about this red issue with shrimp and how there's already the red condiment of choice. And you're fucking with my shit at that stage. Yeah. All right. Should we start with Tinderella or should I?
Let's go.
All right. So you had some other things before Tinderella, but I'm going to start with Tinderella because it's always fun. All right, let's keep it simple. Flour or corn tortillas?
Corn. I don't think it's close. Flour gets too rippy. It gets soggy too. Corn, the sog kind of runs right off it. So sure, you get kind of a drippy taco sometimes, but also it just tastes better.
But have you ever had a psycho give you corn tortillas that they didn't like heat up? They didn't, prefab it, so to speak.
It's just corn.
Yeah, no primer. No primer on it, just that will rip instantly.
Yeah, but you're not getting corn tortilla stuck on the roof of your mouth. You know what I mean?
I think now we're getting down to it. Like in a classic therapy session, now we're getting to what your actual complaint with the flour tortilla is, which is that it's stuck to the roof of your mouth.
Pretty much, but there is a little bit more versatility with the flour tortilla quesadillas. You can't really make a decent quesadilla.
Versatility. See, I like us talking about tacos like it's a utility infielder or something. This guy plays 5 positions. He started 3 games at catcher last year.
I'm just saying, I haven't seen many empanadas made out of corn tortillas. So.
Well, this one, there's not even any contention. I have no...
just
completely agree.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't have this... This is like last week when Jake was calling us out for the... etymology, and we were like, yeah, what's that mean? Oh, that is what it means. Yep, cool. Let's move on to the next topic. There was no real comedy.
I remember what made me think of this, actually. I was microwaving something. It wasn't even a tortilla, which is the ironic thing, but in Spanish class, when I was in high school, I was obnoxious. And actually, I do have a bone to pick. They make you pick a Spanish name, and you have to stick with it the whole fucking time. I tried to change my name middle of my junior year in high school from Julio to Francisco.
Was this based on a baseball player that had been performing well? Because I feel like that would be the thing.
I just felt like I wasn't Julio anymore. You know what I mean? Julio means bearded, which, it fits. But I just felt like more of a Francisco, you know what I mean? People calling me Frankie, I don't know. But I was really obnoxious in Spanish class. Did not have any use for learning conjugations or anything like that, but I did have to be moved away from the microwave because I would just sit by the microwave in the middle of class and turn it on and start chanting microondas. Just really, because I was just the worst. I was most obnoxious.
Like the idea of your Spanish language learning not extending beyond whatever the closest thing to be annoying with was. All right, he learned Spanish for Slinky. Don't know where that's going to come in handy, but
I also learned blue by Eiffel 65 in Spanish. Soy azul.
Yeah. I suppose with that repetition, it's not the hardest set of lyrics to learn. It's not Hotel California, exactly. You're not dealing with a 6 verse. This isn't some Bob Dylan shit. You're mostly dealing with colors. Oh man, yeah. For me, my name was Capitone,
What?
and similarly, they made me, or they tried to make me change it in high school. Like I had to keep it in middle school, and I was like, well, this is bullshit. But then I got stuck with it, and then they try to make me change it, and I go, well, this is bullshit. I mean, clearly that's my default setting, but I had to argue in order to keep Capitone. Which was an argument I wasn't expecting to file. Like, who do I raise this with? But ultimately, cooler heads prevailed. My name is Cole. I don't think there's a cool Spanish. There's no sexy translation for that soft two-voweled name. There's just no way.
Yeah, I started writing Francisco on my papers instead of Julio.
Oh,
and
I
my
see.
teacher knew. I asked her if I could change it. That was the first step. I was like, can I just change it? But when you have fucking Microundus chant guy asking you for a favor, I can see why she's laying down the law. And she's just like, no.
Yeah, you don't.
And so I was like, well,
leeway.
I'm just gonna start doing it. She's like, okay, every time you don't sign Julio on your papers, you're gonna get a 0. And I was like, there's no fucking way she's gonna do that. She's watching me do this. She knows it, and she started doing it. So yeah, I had to D 1 quarter in Spanish
for refusal to write your name as promised. See, you writing the name of somebody that's not functionally there does remind me of U.S. history in high school, where we had a teacher that had been the German teacher, and then German got eliminated, and they thought, let's make her the AP United States history teacher. Or no, it was government, but regardless, it was a farce. So one period, a few friends of mine had invented a student named Ronald. And Ronald's name was on all of their projects. And they made sure to overtly include him in everything that they did, even though he didn't actually exist, in the effort that they would eventually convince the teacher that there was a Ronald. Like if they kept the lie up long enough, just one day he would magically appear like the old claymation Frosty the Snowman. But eventually we did create a Facebook profile with him, and he did successfully pick some fights that he then no-showed. And then these high school kids were like, Ronald, you're a bitch. It's like, yep. How about you meet me at Golden Gardens next week? I'll really be there this time. Not sure what that has to do with Spanish names, but okay. What do you believe to be the unwritten rules surrounding Dibs? What does it extend to? What does it not extend to?
Yeah, like, is there a time limit? I think that there is. So
this is like the opposite of a time limit, right? This is the maximum amount of time beforehand that you can call dibs, like calling shotgun the day before.
If we're doing that, I say it has to be, whatever it is has to be in sight. You can't just like dream of it and be like, by the way, dibs, if that ever happens. It's not fair. You got to give everybody a chance.
If that ever happens, like we're going to Narnia and not going to fucking KFC. If we ever get in the car and go to Taco Time, what are the odds?
Okay, well, I say dibs. Same rules as shotgun.
Okay, that's fair.
But I was thinking, like, how long do dibs count? Like, how long am I supposed to leave those chocolate-covered Oreos before you've lost your privileges? They're wasting away. You're going to let them go stale. This happened in our house.
Yeah, there's
a backstory.
There's some personal flavor here.
Yeah, and basically Katie was like, don't eat these, they're mine. And then, she took too fucking long, and I ate them.
What was too long, then? What was your definition in this case?
In this case, with Oreos specifically?
This is a shifting definition.
Well, once the seal had been cracked, 2 weeks.
That's an enormous amount of time.
That's what I think for Oreos.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. I mean, Ashley is both picky and territorial over some of these snacks. So I'm not going to venture into that realm, but like there are certain things where I just know she won't eat it after. Like if she doesn't finish a bag of chips within 2 days, it just retires into some corner of the house.
I like the idea of her being territorial about snacks. Like you think you're alone in the kitchen, you touch her gummy bears, you just hear her growling in your ear.
I have a garbage pocket that I've since I was like 15. It's like my left back pocket is where all litter I find on the street, whatever, it's the garbage pocket. If you reach in that pocket, there's almost always garbage in there. There's probably garbage in there right now. And one time she did that to like be cutesy and grab my butt and found a Chewy bar wrapper. That, boy, had I been thoroughly pantsed, you know.
Oh, did you at least eat the Chewy bar you're being blamed for? Or was
yeah, this was clear evidence of, see, if the Chewy bar had been there, I would have had some plausible deniability. Oh, how'd that get there? Oh. I'm now wondering what lie I could have conjured. Like, whoa, jeez. Didn't even feel that. Like, it's not even.
I just like the idea, like there's no, how long was it in there? How long was this? Because you had to have passed a trash, or she either caught you within like minutes of eating it.
Oh, no, see, this is, okay, this probably opens a different.
Or you're holding on to it for memories.
This probably opens up a different can of worms that'll expose me, but this also, like, how many days can you wear a pair of jeans before it's uncouth? You know, so.
It depends on the moisture profile of the boys, I think. So I think it has something to do with the season. That's for starters.
Okay, based on season, this could have been anywhere between 1 and 5 days prior.
The whole day? Did you wear them the whole day? Oh, you're talking. I thought we were still talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
about the wrapper.
I mean, not to radio carbon date my own Chewy bar wrapper. You know, I'm not pulling it out of the desert with like a toothbrush, like I'm an archaeologist. It wasn't that old.
You didn't
like where the color starts
in 5 days. You just, I think you wanted to be caught.
That's fairly hot, but you know. Okay, that's fair, but
she's territorial about her snacks. Was it her Chewy bar?
Yeah, these in this case, these were her Chewy bar. It was either that, you know what? It may have been a Famous Amos bag. I may have stolen an Amos bag, and that, you know what? That's my fault. I know, I know better. You put your whole forearm into the trash, dig it under something else. You know? Really hide the evidence. When you've got like 7 fruit snack wrappers on your side of the bed. Oh, Jesus.
Dude, I was such...
Wait till she goes to the bathroom in the morning. Oh, yeah.
I was such a food-stealing fat kid. I used to hide wrappers. Places. Because I didn't want to get caught. Like, the garbage was going to be what was going to sell me out. It took me forever before I realized I was like, I can just put this under some other stuff. I also started doing things like I would take 2 brownies when I should have had 1, and then I would like rearrange them on the dish to make it look like I had only taken 1 brownie, not 2.
I like the idea of doing that with something like pizza. It's like there were 8 slices and now there's 6, but now the 6 slices are weirdly scattered, like 52 card pickup style. Like who visibly touched every slice of pizza? Or like separated all of them by an inch, like I wouldn't notice there's only 6 slices instead of 7. The old ruse. What a gambit. Almost had him with that one, Chris.
Oh, how red am I right now? Oh, God.
You're doing okay. Whew. Wait till the summer months.
Yeah, I go out in the sun for 8 seconds.
You gotta go out there for the baseball games. Okay, I'm getting distracted by Thursday beers. Forgot what question I was going to ask next. This is okay. I should have been more on top of my shit because this is still the same topic. But
okay,
because it's what is your philosophy on shared food in the household, and do you pace yourself?
So, my philosophy is, you should share everything, but you can have a couple things where it's like, don't fucking touch my Krispy Kremes. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. For me, I'm always like, okay, I'll decide these chocolate-covered strawberries have a 10-day limit in this house. I got to make them last 10 days. But the way I do it is I don't touch them for 5.
Oh, I see.
And then I go real hard for the other 5. So then every time Kate, because I don't know, I always feel like I'm being watched. Like Katie's checking that, like how many chocolate covered strawberries we have. Hasn't even broken the seal. And then 3 days later, they're all gone. She's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, hey, it was 10 days.
Like, how do you know? Like, don't ask about how I'm tracking this. All
You
right.
want the Costco receipt? Huh?
I have 12 documents in my notes section dedicated to this shit. My real, so because Ashley's pickier, like a lot of the things I eat, she doesn't even care about. So I don't have to worry about, my few things getting taken. With her, my strategy has become buy a larger quantity up front so then I can get away with stealing two. Example, Gushers, all right? 30 pack, easy 2-banger to steal. Yeah. Easy 2, all right? You can keep that over the 90% threshold. Probably edge your way up to 4. 6-pack, I'm fucked, man. I can't operate on those margins. Yeah. No. What am I going to do? Steal a couple of Gushers out of a pack? That's just psychotic. All right. The day I start super gluing a Gusher pack back together. That's
just Wednesday, man.
That's when she opens it up and she's like, fuck, they're all reds. And I'm like, geez, I wonder how that happened. How did you end up with those? While I have like blue teeth, like a child, I'm not even capable of cleaning up the evidence properly. The trail of Nesquik mix going from the kitchen into the bed. All right, who did that? The dog. We have no children. That's the real reason to have a kid. I can start blaming some of my snack crimes.
I've already tried it.
Can Kendall crawl?
No. Katie's like, she's 4 months. I was like, well,
food
already
driven.
has a taste for Oreos.
It's
crazy.
Not crawling, not teething, but gummed an Oreo down.
Gummed an Oreo down and told the neighbor to fuck off.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Got a noise complaint. Lit fireworks out there. Like, shit. Okay. How long do you run a peanut buttery knife underwater before involving a scrubber?
Yeah, I was about 36 seconds in when I was like, I gotta ask Cole what he does for this. Are you
like checking your phone while you're?
I was typing it while it was under there. About 30 seconds. I don't know. I could just start off scrubbing it, but then you get the peanut butter on the scrubby thing.
I do understand. You don't want to just go out of the gates.
I'm actually more likely to go at it bare fingers and then deal with the finger problem. You know what I mean?
See, I have to admit, I don't have an answer to this because I have not allowed myself to have peanut butter in the house for I don't even know how long.
Really?
Too many peanut butter crimes. Too many.
What did you do to your dog?
Oh, God.
No,
I didn't even think about that implication.
Well, how many peanut butter crimes are there? My parents used to have one of those, like, boiling, like, you would turn it and it's automatically boiling hot water.
Oh, yeah. The cup of noodles machine.
When I live...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. When I lived there, I would always just go straight to that with the peanut buttery knife. I'm like, you don't even stand a fucking chance. You're just getting melted off. Just crush it.
I think on one of the previous episodes I mentioned eating too much fruit in a short time span like a child and then getting a stomach ache. Same thing with peanut butter, except it's like 2 spoonfuls of peanut butter and then I can't breathe.
Oh,
I overcommitted.
I think that's called anaphylaxis.
No, this is definitely pure user error, pure physical conundrum.
It's not even hitting the tongue, just straight to the throat. You didn't even give it a chance to get wet.
No, I was just too eager.
Sawdust straight to the back of the throat.
There's a Shel Silverstein poem about a guy that
I don't know why I did not expect that to go there.
Makes the stickiest peanut butter sandwich in the world, and it takes them 15 years to pry his mouth open. That's why I can't have peanut butter anymore. Take some blowtorches. Yeah, but that and Nutella. I mean, I read an expose article recently that's like, you know, Nutella's not very healthy. It's like, the chocolate goo is not good for me.
The Europeans eat it.
Yeah, exactly. But I made that with, what is it, marshmallow fluff? Like, yes, that sandwich is really nutritious. That's good stuff.
Marshmallow fluff's a good fucking time.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like illegally sticky.
Yeah, it is.
That's
what Mad Bum got. No, never mind. No, Scherzer got ejected for you.
Right, that's why he's got the 10-game suspension. Because he either had marshmallow fluff or grape soda on his fingers.
Yeah, do you think grape soda or orange soda is stickier?
Jesus Christ. I have to go grape, but
I think it's probably sugarier, right? That has to be what's making it sticky.
Yeah, but I do like the idea that the mysterious food dye of choice that's like being added to your slice or your grape Fanta is the thing that's actually making it like nuclear level sticky.
Does orange soda, like I what I'm about to say sounds dumb because I know it exists. But do people still drink that? Or was that just like something that happened in the 90s and early 2000s, like when we were growing up? Well, like, or was it because we were kids? That's why we were always exposed to it so much?
Because they're just like, oh, the kids want a can of Slice. Probably. That's certainly not something I've been jumping at in the last 20 years.
You know, Novelli is the only person I've ever met. I'm going to try to get him on this podcast, too. Who prefers grape soda to orange.
I prefer grape to orange.
What? That's madness.
Oh, I agree.
I'm telling David Twitty about this.
No, I'm a fake grape fan. As far as, you know, terrible fake fruit flavors are concerned.
But not banana.
No. Well, not on the Laffy Taffy spectrum. It's just not.
Where else is there fake banana flavors?
Popsicles. The cheap ones. The root beer lime. You know the ones.
Yeah,
you know exactly the ones.
Oh, boy. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Well, how do you feel about banana popsicles then?
Similarly negative.
God damn it.
Yeah, but when you've got the banana root beer lime pack, you're really, I mean, you're trading a food stamp dollar for a smoke at that point. Like, you're living in the dregs. You are truly in the bottom of the barrel. Your friends on the block got firecracker popsicles. They've got, like, the yellow, orange, strawberry, mango looking thing that's, like, 14 inches long, and you're rocking the root beer popsicle.
So you're calling me poor?
That's... If not poor, I'm saying you got bad popsicle taste. I'm saying there's so much more out there than root beer.
Okay. But where are we now?
We are still on Tinderella. Don't you worry. How did you avoid getting tickled growing up?
So we did talk about tickling with Nolan, and I'm obviously thinking about tickling all the time because it's like one of the two things I can do with Kendall.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and it's so cute when she laughs. So I'm always trying to tickle her. And I've realized that it's less about the tickle and more about the anticipation. Because I do this thing my dad used to do where he'd like, I don't know, it was like something like this. And he was
like
coming in slowly, like jellyfish in his hand towards you. And then he'd stop. And then he'd get you. He'd just tickle finger you big time. That sounded really weird. Tickle finger. Anyhow.
Finger tickle.
And I just remember being like, when it stops, you're like, you know it's coming.
Yeah. You're in the tractor beam.
And that's the weird thing about being tickled too, is like you're enjoying it, but you also want it to stop. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, this is so fun, but I hate it.
Yeah. Oh, time with my dad.
So we bringing up bad memories.
Sounded sad. Sounded bleak.
So when I was a kid, whenever I was getting tickled, I used to always say that I was going to pee my pants. Because I knew that was top shelf, like going straight to, they're going to stop. Nobody wants a kid to pee his pants. Right. I knew that was the way to make it end. But I kind of got into a boy who cried wolf situation with that. Because you can only say that so many times where people are like, okay, you're just...
Well, and then later, like if you're in the car and you're like, I've seriously got to piss. And they're like, bullshit. Guys. We're 2 hours from Spokane.
So yeah, one time I did pee myself when I was getting tickled.
So. You had to,
despite numerous warnings.
Was that to resolve the boy who cried wolf allegations? Like, all right, I guess I got to piss myself. In front of these
No,
boys.
that's why it was a boy who cried wolf situation. I kept saying that I was going to pee my pants and didn't, but they would stop. And so they were like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep tickling him because he's clearly not going to pee his pants.
Yeah.
Boy pissed himself big time.
As a younger person that was more capable of going to concerts and being like deep in the mosh pit, there were so many times where you look at the back of the crowd and you're like, Jesus, it's going to take 20 minutes to get out of there unless I pretend I'm going to puke. Or just go, Red Sea, motherfucker, like Moses. Like, I am immediately getting out of this Death from Above 1979 show. I've had enough. Yeah, so that's as far as peeing yourself, I do totally get that because I have the smallest bladder on earth, and I definitely got tickled to the point of pissing myself at least once. So I did not have a boy who cried wolf situation.
God, I want to tickle you so bad.
I don't think I have the joie de vivre to be tickled anymore. I don't think I have the, the
Soul.
lust for life. All right. All right. Last one of these questions, and we'll get on to our future or our other topics. Excuse me. And of course I close it. So, what makes a good milkshake?
I'll tell you what makes a bad milkshake.
Is this another thing that's like colored with personal animosity?
I was at the Mariners game yesterday, and I got a milkshake from Kid Valley. Because, I don't know, I hadn't had a milkshake in years. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have fucking diabetes be damned. No, I was like, fuck it, I'm having a milkshake. So I got, they only have two options, vanilla and chocolate. I just have strawberry. Strawberry's clearly the best one.
I thought we made the rule that Dick's has established the 3 minimum milkshake flavors in this town.
So I get a vanilla. Just not a chocolate shake guy. I don't know. If I want chocolate, I'm going to eat fucking chocolate. I don't want chocolate flavor anyway. I got a vanilla shake, and it was like 25 minutes before I could fucking have any of it because it was just a...
Oh, they gave you one of those like concrete mixer ones?
Yeah! Dude, and then they give you a straw that like you can maybe get a toothpick through. It's like, Jesus, how could I possibly suck this through here? Not even Adriana Chechik could suck this through this straw. Sorry, Punch Star
second
reference.
or third reference. I didn't know they had milkshakes at the ball game, but that
They got to let you get fat every possible way you can.
yeah, right.
Surprised
they
it
still
doesn't
sell-
come in a helmet.
Yeah, do they still sell Dippin Dots there? Can I still pretend like
The
this
ice
is
cream
what
of the future?
astronauts do? Yeah, exactly. When we're going to Mars, there's going to be
Well, we're gonna need Tang and Dippin' Dots.
4 brave men and women, Tang, Dippin Dots, probably a rocket ship at some point.
Space blankets.
Yeah, exactly.
When in Rome.
My view of going to space is just being wrapped in a space blanket, crushing Dippin' Dots. Like, there's no job. You're just gonna, you're like on public transit. Well, shit, got to get to Northgate Mall somehow.
Go up around Jupiter real quick. Take a left.
All right, since you brought up Kendall earlier, I wanted to ask you about the sock game.
Did you detest socks as a kid? Do you remember having issues with socks?
No, not in particular, but
I wonder if it's genetic. Because I used to come home from school, first thing I would do, shoes off, socks immediately off, and I would fucking huck them, just throw them. Did not matter where I was. They were coming off.
like it was a political statement.
Exactly.
I disagree with this whole thing.
Exactly. So my mom was just forever finding socks around the house. And Kendall, same way. Only 4 months old, already has an opinion about socks. You put those on her, and she just kind of gives you this look like, why? I already have these feet. Why do we need anything on them? And yeah, so she'll like, you can't really see, but she'll kind of like just work them off this way because she can't really grab them yet. She's starting to grab her toes. I wonder what's going to happen there if she's going to start yanking them off and hucking them. But yeah, she's not about the socks. I don't know if that's a...
Honestly, at that young of an age, it probably is a genetic thing. I wouldn't be shocked. So I don't have that strong of feelings, but there are contexts. Like if you wear your socks to bed.
Oh, that just reminded me of the most random thing. When I was in like 4th grade, my brother told me that the definition of a nerd is somebody who wears their socks to bed. Which was clearly him just being like, you're a fucking nerd because I wore socks to bed once.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, oh, shit, really?
Yeah, he could have said the definition of a nerd as being
I just
named
accepted
Chris
it at
and
face
having a
value.
Brewer shirt.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't realize I was getting punked for the longest, like until a couple years ago. I was like, yeah, the definition of a nerd is actually if you wear socks to bed. Like It was in the fucking dictionary.
I'm just saying, socks to bed, you got like a skin lampshade, a tooth belt buckle, something like that. You got some weird stuff going on in there.
Fucking nerds.
I can't end on tooth belt buckle. Oh, I was going to tell you why I dumped my first therapist because I feel like that's a good transition
wait for this. Can I have one more?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, can I have 2 more? Where do you draw the line?
I'm not going to be blamed for your liver failure.
Nah, well, somebody has to.
You said 2 more.
Oh, damn. I didn't think he was going to do it.
I got rid of my first therapist for very simple reasons. The guy kept asking me about my fucking dreams. Not like hopes and dreams, like my sleep dreams.
Yeah. What are your dreams, Cole?
Every dream is a nightmare. And also, none of them tend to mean anything. Okay, I'll give you an example of one that actually shook me up a little bit, and then what our conversation was. I had one particularly realistic dream. My brother died in vivid fashion, and I woke up like, oh, Jesus, I'm going to shoot him a text to make sure he's okay. So a few months later, I talked to my therapist about this, and he goes, so why do you think you were worried about that? Because I love the guy? Is this the level of analysis we're getting into here? Why would you be worried that a family member dies in a dream? Like, what's your concern here? I didn't get eaten by a sandwich in my dream, and then it's like, what do you think that means? I don't know, brother. That is a great question. What does it mean?
Maybe I need to stop eating sandwiches.
Yeah, do I fear Subway? Perhaps I do, but
no, just Jerry.
Very, very surface level analysis. Like, I'm giving you very legitimate trauma here. Please quit asking me about, the time I had a dream where I was. Anyways, I can't finish that joke. I got nothing. But
how did that make you feel?
Are we doing this? But I don't know. My therapy needs to exist in the physical realm.
I had a dream last night. This is just only to illustrate how different our dreams are. I had a dream that this woman, Katie, works with, came over, and I said out loud, I want her to sit on my face, but I meant to just think it. That was the dream. So everybody heard me say it.
See, that just seems that's too slice of life realistic.
That would be bad if I said that out. It would be pretty bad. It's not my brother dying.
Turns out your dreams are nightmares in a more convoluted, complicated way.
She didn't, though. In the end, she didn't.
That's the true nightmare. Oh, yeah. I do have a few things I want to say about dispensaries in general. I don't know how much you're going to...
Happy 420. We're recording on 420. I don't know what date you're listening to this on.
Probably like May 6th.
Happy
when
holidays.
I get my ass around.
All you celebrate?
Yeah. I celebrate all day. I actually sober up from the weed to do this podcast, and that's like my one little window. No, there's a dispensary by my house that has one of those bank clocks. You know, the ones that only tell you 2 things, the time and the temperature for some fucking reason?
Yeah. Why the fucking temperature?
Yeah. Welcome to Tillamook Credit Union. I don't know why I went. Clearly, I'm still in the cheese brain. But it's 68 degrees, and yeah. Anyways, this dispensary at all times says it is 4:20 o'clock. And I think that is a crime.
That's not.
I don't think you're allowed to tell people.
Especially considering your clientele. Somebody's going there like, oh, I got plenty of time. Oh, my God, I'm late.
Yeah. You know how many rooms I walk into and forget why I'm there? You can't tell me it's 4:20 when I'm driving home at 3:47. I would easily confuse those things. If I got off work at 11 o'clock, I might make that mistake. Yeah. Driving home at 3. There's no fucking chance.
Where did I lose 5 hours?
Yeah. And the bud tenders are starting to know me too well. Like, everybody knows my name. Like, this is a version of Cheers that's gotten very dark. I don't want to be Norm in this place at all.
And how do they know you? What do you mean?
Oh, they like know my dog. They know my name. They know
They're
my
grabbing
dogs.
your shit before you even say anything. They know your dogs?
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't need to tell them my name when I come in. They're like, oh, yeah, online order. Yeah. They immediately walk into the back. There's like
Are you bringing your dogs with you in there?
No, but we've had enough conversations.
I like that you do the online
burning
order.
through hash oil cartridges.
You do the online order clearly to avoid human interaction, and then you go in and you have a conversation about your dogs.
Look, I'm just trying to reduce here as much as I possibly can. And when you've got like 7 cartridges, and this isn't a Chewy bar, call back. This doesn't have like a nicely printed barcode. This was thrown on a sticker by some asshole in Eugene, and so the scanning process is never quick, is my point.
Yeah.
So, you got time to talk about your dogs, and
yeah, you're just trying to talk them into going to get your order out of the bag. And you're having all that conversation.
No, like I said, they've already got it. they've already made eye contact, and so in that sense, I have really limited my exposure, but. Luckily, the one I go to now, everyone is at least polite, and they don't ask me questions like, what you chiefing on, chief? Nothing now, I'm leaving immediately.
I'm going to burn this place to the ground.
Yeah, I can't respond to a question like that.
Oh, God. Fucking hacks.
Oh, yeah, there is one more thing I did want to say about this, though. I realize that a lot of the dispensaries will tell you as you come in, don't smoke weed inside, which is a very antiquated rule to tell people, which makes me now want to go into everywhere I go and ask if I can smoke in there. Because that is a question of a bygone era.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
the
asking
answer is, of course not.
Right. The answer to that question hasn't been yes in like 3 presidents yet.
Unless you're at a bar in Waukesha, Wisconsin, you walk in and you're like, can I smoke in here? They're like, do you smell this place? Why wouldn't you smoke in here? Can you please smoke in here?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Somebody just farted. See, since we're in Waukesha, Wisconsin, of course you know that there's a guy wearing a who farted. It was me. Yeah, please fire up that Virginia Slim 120 stat. But yeah, so that's my new terrible bit, and it's a great way to get a bartender to hate you immediately. All right, that's it for my stupid
Jake,
smoking.
can we smoke in here? Hot Jake on the 1s and 2s, everybody. Or average Jake if he keeps it up, making fun of my Brewers jersey. Fucking.
We'll tell.
I don't trust pretty people, man. I don't fucking trust them. Ever since I was younger, I don't trust them. When I was in grade school, I remember this one day where I kind of kept to myself. I was a weird fucking kid. I've just always had like weird obsessions. I don't know if you were like obsessed with different shit growing up. First it was trucks, basic boy thing to be obsessed with. Then it was Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus. Not Billy Ray Cyrus, just this song.
So you went from object to song, which was not what I was expecting.
Then it was Elvis.
Fair.
Huge Elvis nerd. But so I'm in like 1st grade and I'm going to school dressed like a greaser. Right, like I got my hair slicked back, leather
just
jacket.
Watch The Outsiders.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty cool. And I remember walking up to the bus stop one day, and there's this popular, good-looking guy, and he was like, "Hey, bet you're not brave enough to go stand next to that pole." And I was like, "Yeah, I am. I'll stand next to any pole, fucking loser." So I go and stand by the pole. I even remember being like, "Okay," like my hands out, like, "Ta-da, I did it." And everybody's fucking cracking up laughing. And I'm still like, whatever. I start walking away, and I look down. I stepped in a huge pile of dog shit. Huge pile of dog shit. Great bit. He got me. But now all the moms are embarrassed for me watching this happen. Like I remember one came and was like helping me use somebody's hose to like get the dog shit off my shoe. And then I remember,
don't you know you're making this worse, local mom?
I remember getting
my embarrassments at a fever
getting
pitch.
on the bus, and my best friend was like, "I smell something weird," and this is how I wanted to get out of it, because I didn't want to be ostracized for having shit on my shoe. So I thought a better explanation was, "Oh, that's my hair gel." Just blamed it on my gel, like, "Oh, so your head smells like dog shit. It's not your shoe that has dog shit on it."
No. Instead of an accident that happened to you, you're telling me you willingly applied this substance to yourself, went to school, had a day.
That's what I'm saying, man. I just don't trust fucking hot people, man. They can convince me to do anything. My boss, I have a new boss. She's very attractive. I know I showed you a picture. You didn't think it was anything crazy, but my type is
I've got a fiance, so if you're going to send me a picture
I'm
of another
married.
woman, it needs to like...
She better be naked.
Can I pay you to not do that? Can I not get that response? No. As soon as you sent it to me, before I even analyzed the picture, I was just like, I'm going to have to delete this shit.
Oh, why? Is she jealous or?
That would be a definite, if I got like an over the shoulder look, she'd be like, what the fuck is this? And rightfully so. You're the only person that's ever sent me a text like that in 15 years. So that would be another factor.
Katie and I have a different like Shane will send me pictures of women all the time, and sometimes Katie's like, oh, who's that? Like it's just different. Anyway, my boss is like very much exactly my type. Like she kind of looks like Katie. She's like very naturally, not a whole lot of makeup, not a whole lot. We already discussed this. But now I'm just like, she could get me to do anything. This is the worst case scenario. This
is how you end up picking up like 3 additional units that you have to
right.
Get conned into more work.
Yeah. So I try not to make eye contact with pretty people or even fucking talk to them if I can avoid it. Don't like being bamboozled.
Oh, Chris, I did want to ask you about, this is a seamless transition into that school that you were telling me about that you went to a few times.
Okay. So this is probably better for a therapy session, but we can jump into it. I went to like an advanced learning, I don't even know what to fucking call it. That's how much I didn't belong there is my point. My brother's super smart. My brother's in cancer research and vaccines and all this stuff I could never understand. I don't get it at all. It's embarrassing when we're in the same room and he starts going on about stuff. I'm like, you guys want to hear about the 05 Brewer bullpen ERA or no?
Want to hear about the podcast?
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Shouldn't have traded Carlos Lee and Nelson Cruz for Kevin Mench.
What'd you talk about on the last episode? Food. What episode number was? Oh, food.
Yeah. Also probably poop. Listener beware.
I have been careful. Okay, continue.
Yeah, how long did we make it this time before we said the P word? So my brother got into this smart kid school, right? Because my parents are like, we have this gifted child. We want to make sure he gets the most accelerated education he possibly can. So then we go to this, like, I don't know, luncheon thing. Oh, my parents...
You know it's smart when they call it a luncheon and not a lunch. It's like somebody saying whilst.
Is lunch just short for luncheon? Or?
Yeah. Or we just adding syllables to stuff now? Because I'd like to go to dinnerable. Sorry.
That was... God, you're smart too, you fucking bitch. So my parents are like, hey, we're going to go to the park. And I wasn't fat yet, so I was like, that was exciting for me. I was like, shit, let's go to the fucking park.
Not a homework assignment.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got to run between poles.
We go to the park, and it's this thing where it's all these kids trying to get the last spots for this school. And so my brother gets in just because they talked to him, and they're like, yeah, this kid has to be a part of the program. He's just smart. And then my parents win a raffle, and they're like, okay, well, you get another spot.
How good is this education, really, if there's a raffle involved?
Well, because they were trying to make... There's a bunch of people trying to get a couple spots.
Right.
And I think they were trying to defer any blame. Like, oh, it was random.
Like when David Stern would rig the lottery draw. Oh, Nick Scott Ewing. How'd that happen?
So anyway, my parents come up to me and they're like, hey, do you want to go to a new school? And I'm like, no. I like my school. I like where I'm at. They're like, well, it's a really good education. And I'm like, can I go play? And they're like, yeah. So anyway, I end up going to a new school, which is great. You accidentally back into a place you don't fucking belong. I also don't think I think once they saw my brother and they're like, who cares if dumb kid gets, like, they never thought I was going to be dumb. Who cares if this kid randomly gets in, right? They had no idea I was going to ruin the bell curve, right? Like, I get in and I'm patient 60
They're doing like the
whatever.
Forrest Gump, like, your son is here.
Exactly. But so then I show up and I'm fucking weird Elvis kid. And this is kind of how far ahead, I guess, or how accelerated it was. When I was in 2nd grade, we did the state project, which for the rest of the state happened in 5th grade, maybe 6th, I've heard for some other people. And so I did Tennessee, so I could basically do an Elvis impersonation for my presentation.
Right. I
which
mean,
was
your priorities were in the right place.
Ba-da-ba. Had a jumpsuit, fucking hair, dude. It was cool as hell. But I was fucking dumb, so I'm getting bullied because I'm the dumbest kid at the smart kid school. So I'm getting bullied by fucking nerds, dude. And it's the weirdest way to get bullied because it's not even like, oh, you're fat, which I was starting to be because it was stressful and I was a big Elvis fan.
What they call you, carbuncular?
They started using words I don't fucking know. They started making fun of how I don't know my times tables yet. I'm like, dude, all my other friends in 4th grade don't even know this yet. Dude. So
joke's on you, man. I don't know long division till this day. So getting shit talked to me by a 7-year-old right now and wouldn't be able to defend myself.
Yeah, it was just really strange because people look at me as like maybe the type of guy who was a bully in junior high or something. You know what I mean? Not the case. I was bullied by a bunch of people using big words, and it was bullshit. That got sadder at the end than it was supposed to.
Yeah, we're gonna have a hard time recovering from this one.
We did. Was there anything redeemable about that?
I don't know. I think maybe that's why we have a good relationship.
Because
love you, buddy.
Because you're a fucking bully, you smart dick.
I didn't use my vocabulary to insult you. I just use it to defend myself against my lack of math, you know?
Well, that is definitely where I learned how to, like, use... That's where I developed my sense of humor, actually, I think. Because everybody likes the funny guy, right? So if you can't be smart, be funny. And so, yeah, I developed it as a defense mechanism, and now it's just who I am. I'm not sad.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think that I bring all of my, trauma dump onto the show? Because it's just like 8 Mile, dude. If I talk shit about myself, these people can't get at me. I have fully owned this. I learned this from Rabbit.
I learned it from Maury Povich. Make fun of yourself first.
Yeah, well, the only thing I learned from that is, like, the TV you get stuck with when you fake sick from school. You're like, shit, man, I'm stuck on Maury and Jerry and Ricky Lake all day just because I didn't want to go learn long division today.
Can you imagine being one of those teachers and you're like the super smart kid school and some dumbass in an Elvis suit comes in?
Sounds like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. That's funny. All my report cards were always frequently disruptive, a distraction to others, a pleasure to have in class. It was always those three.
There we go.
This kid sucks, but I kind of like him.
Yeah. He's there's something. He's got that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between that Elvis get up and then when he farted and then said who farted. Kind of built a little bit of adoration. Okay, I did want to talk a little bit about Ween, because David was here. He's a big Ween fan. I didn't get a chance to talk about this on the show, but have you ever been to a concert, or really any concert's the most appropriate place, but where folks, are dressing like the music they listen to? Because I think in most cases,
dude,
the concerts I go to, very eclectic mix. You can't pin it on any, but like a Ween show, everyone looks like they just got fired from Hollywood Video. Like,
oh man, that's just like all the fucking skateboarders at metal shows, dude. Oh Jesus.
I was at Sasquatch Music Festival, and MGMT was the second to last band, and so they had a bunch of like 19-year-olds wearing face paint, a lot of bad cultural appropriation, also really drunk and pretending to be high. Like, people pretending like they're on acid, but they're just shit-faced on Smirnoff. It's like a whole cultural thing, like wearing assless chaps. It was interesting. So MGMT finishes their show, lights go down, and then all of a sudden, like, shitty leather jackets sort of spring up amidst the assless chaps and the face paint. And a lot of cigarettes start going, like a lot of Marlboros. You're going, oh, this climate is changing. And this comes back to the Gucci or Greasy question about sharing a joint with somebody else. I mean, at the Ween show, it's a rite of passage.
It's family.
It's a terrible Manson family type family, but nonetheless.
I swear, people who like, I don't know, identify as somebody who listens to some type of music always dress like everybody else who likes that. I don't understand it. Because like I said, when I go to a metal show, this is just what I look like all the time. This is what I wear. And so I stick out like a sore fucking thumb. Like I don't understand. I guess I don't understand dressing like the music you listen to, but it's funny. Like, oh wow, another tie-dye shirt at this Tame Impala show. Crazy.
Okay, that's a pretty funny one. See, the only rule I try to avoid is don't wear the band shirt of the band to the fucking concert.
Really?
Yeah.
You think?
You're at the Rage Against the Machine show. We know you're a fan. Wear a different fucking band shirt. That is the only one. And I don't even know at what stage I was like, yeah, it's a bit of a, now that said, I go to a Mariners game, and when they're not playing the Cardinals, I do wear a Mariners jersey. So this logic is very flawed. And
yeah, I'm the type of guy, like, I will not go to a sporting event and wear like a Packers jersey at a baseball game, something like that. It's just like, you can't mix. Just wear a regular shirt then. If you don't have something, that's fine. Don't just be like, sports, that's close.
Yeah, I one time wore a Cleveland Browns jersey to a Mariners game because it was too stupid. Andre Bad Moon Rising. I don't know why. I was just like, this is a bit.
That's a good bit. I'm on board with that, actually. That would have cracked me up if I saw you, honestly.
You have to admit, as far as
a Browns jersey.
That's the thing. I didn't wear a Patriots jersey.
That's exactly where I was going to go, too. Tom Brady. I'd just be like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah. Oh, you've won a playoff game recently? I want a franchise that represents ineptitude. I was going to ask you how laying a coat down on a puddle of mud became the most chivalrous shit imaginable, but since we're running low on time, I think I want to keep it moving.
Where did that start? It seems like that would just fill with water immediately, like it would sink. There's no way that actually doesn't.
I looked up the entire history of this, read multiple articles about it because it was fucking with my brain for that long. We just got to do it.
We got it. We're in.
So it was like basically at that point, chivalry, like the early 20th century, the idea was, sacrificing as much of your own comfort for somebody else. So walking around to the other side of the table, doing XYZ where you're making the other person more comfortable at your own expense. And then as like a comedy bit, basically, it was like a Buster Keaton thing, was like, oh, it would be funny if I ruin my coat so that you don't have to get your shoes wet. So it is truly a bit, but the origin is so old that it then became like, I wonder if people actually did that. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Nobody's throwing down their North Face on the mud puddle. But, yeah, so that was like one of the etymology searches.
Oh, do we have an etymology today?
Oh, we do. We actually have. So I'll start with etymology, and if we have time, we'll do a Wikipedia. So hot dog.
Yeah. How did hot dog happen? Why dog? Why did they invoke dogs? And why with the dogs?
So
were they thinking like dachshunds?
See, that was my thought. It is a little bit darker than that, as with most of these things.
The original ones are made of dogs.
Or what more accurately, so some might have been, but at that point
what?
In Germany, the 18th and 19th century,
of course it's Germany.
It's a sausage. I mean, Christ.
I was just thinking being terrible to others, a.k.a. dogs. Anyway, I'm German. I can say it, right?
Now we're going to have to cut this. Now we fucked up the whole thing.
Brussels is already gone. Fuck Germany, dude.
Austria, you're next. But yeah, it was people were concerned, and people did at that point eat dog in those regions to some extent. So yeah, it was like, oh, it's probably dog. But how hot dog had the lasting power it does, that is a bit more of a mystery.
There's no way they call them hot dogs in Germany. That has to be American.
Well, they didn't. I mean, I'm sure they would say it in German. Shit, I didn't look it up in German before this. That's why you need to do Duolingo, so that you can do a bit on a podcast once in a while. All right, Chris, I'm going to do Gucci or Greasy.
So wait.
I told you the etymology. It is truly, people thought it was dog meat.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And they still ate it. It's still stuck around.
Yeah.
It's dog meat. Give it a shot.
Well, that was pretty good. Okay, last segment. We'll save my Wikipedia for next time. Gucci or Greasy, grocery bag, bathroom, trash can liner. My answer is immediately neither, because it's the only trash can liner for the bathroom. It's the default setting.
Okay, I'm just glad other people do it, because I think that it's greasy, but we absolutely do that in our house. In fact, there's been times where I've gone to Target and I knew that we were low, and I had a 1-bag haul. But I asked him to double bag it.
Yeah. See, the one thing I did have to abolish the grocery bag dog poop pickup, because they're unreliable bags. I need to be confident I've got 100% continuity in the bag, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's
can't afford to have any holes there.
No, but
2 miles from home.
But I've seen
dog shit on your hand.
Just another Tuesday night.
Why is that guy wiping his hands in the
oh yeah,
see what happened there.
Oh, I've done that a million times. Shit, these beers are catching up to me. I don't know if I have any other. I don't know if I have the ability to be fun anymore.
Where are we at?
I think we're basically at time.
Well, Average Jake hates us and he wants us to leave, so we're going to have to wrap this up. Thanks for listening, and like and subscribe. Hold up your koozie. We're still selling koozies, so we can try to pay for this somehow.
We only have to sell 17 koozies to fund each episode, so get cracking, y'all.
So
that is the math.
So now we just need to get 17 listeners. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which I don't fucking use. Does anybody use Twitter anymore? Yeah, thanks for listening. Love you.